What's up with ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I am back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, but most importantly, make sure you share it with your bad friends. On today's video, we will be covering Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, and this one right here is titled The End of Krystal and the Rise of Cold-Blooded Kanan. So basically, what I mean by the rise of cold-blooded Kanan is, in the original Power, we all seen him to be this cold-blooded killer who basically didn't give too much of a F about anyone that was in his way. Pretty much, if he wasn't beneficial to him, he didn't give a damn about you. So I will be talking about in this video basically the things that possibly transpired and led to him ultimately going cold. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right on into it. Now, as we know, I got up in the video, you see that I basically have in the end of Krystal, right? So with me saying the end of Krystal, pretty much, that's kind of self-explanatory. You know what I mean by the end of Krystal. Pretty much I'm saying that she's probably gonna be up out of here, right? So the question is how and why, and I will be going over all of that in this video. Now I kind of briefly touched on this a little bit before. For those of y'all that's been following my channel and you really rock with me for a while, you kind of already know where I stand with this, but I'm gonna do a little bit more thorough explaining on exactly how I could see it happening, especially since we're now currently getting ready to approach episode 8, so we could I got more information. But basically I could see a very similar scenario with Krystal that happened with Lakeisha, because they are kind of very much alike. If you can remember, they kind of referenced Lakeisha as being smart, and now they're pretty much doing the same thing with Krystal here. And they also both wasn't made for the game, right? But of course, circumstances such as love, or in Krystal's case, possibly opportunity, they got caught up in this. But anyways, I have a clip here that I want to show you guys that kind of show you a little bit of an example of what I mean, the similarities. And as you know, Power is always full of parallels. If you haven't picked up on that yet, then here's I'm going to let you know. And that means you probably haven't been following me for too long. But yeah, Power does a whole lot of parallels. Like what may happen in Raising Kanan this next episode, you may have gotten a very similar, scenery happen in their original Power, or possibly book 2 goes. But anyways, take a look at this one and I can explain a little bit more and give you the parallel.
There was some fucked up looking dude coming out the building today. His face was all scarred and scary. Something about him felt real wrong. Just uncomfortable.
Scary looking niggas, every building, everywhere.
So basically the reason why I wanted to show this one right here is because if you can remember, shortly after this, Krystal decided she wanted out of that apartment. She said she wanted a new apartment, and she basically buttered Kanan up a little bit to go and search for a new apartment, which they ultimately did. And the reason being is because basically Unique showed up and he spooked her. She was like, nah, that man was too damn ugly. I'm trying to tell you, but that man was, hey, I understand you say it's ugly ass niggas that be in every in every building. But this nigga, he was ugly as hell. I'm telling you, we gotta get him out of here. So, you know, she go ahead and convinced him. And all I'm saying is, with her being frightened and ultimately wanted to go and get into another place, it just kind of reminded me a lot of this scene here.
We're gonna be all right. It's just part of the life. You don't get to pick and choose when you're down. Now, I'm gonna need your help here.
Tommy, I'm not trying to do this street shit forever. I want a house in the suburbs away from all this bullshit. I want Cash to grow up in a safe neighborhood. I just want us to live.
So, as you can see, and if you are a real, you know, hardcore Power fan, then you very much remember this scene. This comes from episode 7 of the final season. Basically, you know, 2-Bit them sent someone to the shop to basically just scare Lakeisha off, but ultimately, you know, she ended up killing the guy. And she basically cried out to Tommy and told him she don't want to do the drug life no more, that she wants a house in the suburbs away from all of this shit, right? So I kind of see the parallel where Krystal was basically on the same wave, you feel me? And we know how that ended up for Krystal. But we have another parallel that's also coming as well. Because remember, before they moved into that place, actually, you know what? This actually happened before. So I stand corrected. Before this guy attacked Lakeisha, I think the guy's name was Mozzie or something like that. Before Mozzie attacked Lakeisha here, remember, she got paid a visit.
No. You're not reaching for a piece, are you? Tommy gave you that too. Not here to hurt you. I'm actually here, Lakeisha, to make you an offer.
What's that?
There should be enough money for you and Cash to set up shop somewhere else without Tommy.
So.
No.
So, basically, as you can see right there, Ghost was making Lakeisha an offer to set up shop somewhere else. She basically was trying to get her to leave Tommy so that, you know, she would no longer be an issue and stuff like that. Because Ghost wasn't he wasn't as cold as Tommy and Kanan was. Obviously, he was a stone cold killer, but he wasn't heartless. Like, he didn't want to take out nobody that Tommy loved, or, you know, that Kanan loved, or somebody like that he loved, that they loved. If that makes sense. But anyways, so that's why he rather just tried to get Lakeisha to leave, and he did the same thing with Holly. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because if you've been paying attention, you've been following me for a while, I told you that there is a lot of parallels between Rock and Ghost. Rock is basically the female version of Ghost. They both lied to their children a lot, and they both did what needed to be done, even if people hated them for it, right? So we just seen how Ghost paid Holly a visit, right? Lakeisha a visit. I believe that a very similar thing will happen with Krystal here. Not necessarily that I don't know if necessarily I'm going to say that Krystal is going to be a problem for I don't think she's going to necessarily be a problem for a Rock, but I do think that it's going to be beneficial for Rock and for Krystal's own best interest to go ahead and get out, because Juke could be coming after her, but I will get into that a little later. I'm gonna get to you guys exactly why Juke may possibly be after her. So, but first, let me go ahead and dive in a little bit more on what could possibly lead Kanan down the dark path ultimately. That kind of makes him just completely go cold. So as we know, Kanan has been searching for who is behind the death of his best friend, Famous, right? And here, of course, you know, they was having a conversation, and basically he was telling Juke that he trusted her more than anyone else, right? So basically, the person that he has the most trust in is Juke. And I believe what's going to end up happening that kind of gets him to be, you know, F everybody towards that type of lifestyle is the people that he trusted the most are going to betray him. If you pay attention, even in OG Power, Kanan kind of was facing that the entire time because like Ghost betrayed him. He thought Tommy betrayed him. He didn't know until later that, you know, Tommy didn't really have a part in that. But, you know, basically he's been getting betrayed. Dre betrayed him. Even though you kind of get why Dre did it because he was a crazy ass nigga. But I'm just saying. But anyway, though, let's just go ahead and take a listen to what and then you can tell trust is a major betrayal is absolutely gonna happen. I want to say this real quick before I play the clip. A major betrayal is absolutely going to happen in this season because first off, just look at the song choices they gave us for the trailer. They gave us that you know, can't trust it. That's what they saying all through the, you know, the trailer. And of course it's Public Enemy if I'm not mistaken. So I instantly, once I heard that, I'm like, okay, a betrayal is more than likely going to happen this season. The question is, who will be the person who get betrayed? And I think it can be a multitude of different characters, like not just one, but plenty of them. I mean, I think Juke might betray Kanan in a way, not really, but in a way, because she's gonna tell some information that she shouldn't have told. But anyway,
You're next to me.
I ain't next to nobody.
Just saying, if you ever feeling ready, put some work out in. I got you. Cause you good at this shit. The way things is playing out right now, these niggas around I can trust. Ain't nobody I trust more than you.
there you have it. You see that he says he doesn't trust anyone more than he does Juke. And that's just one thing he's saying about trust, right? Because he also was, he also pressed Krystal on whether or not he could trust her.
You know my back, Krystal.
Of course. Why wouldn't I? I love you.
That don't mean nothing. Some of the worst shit that's been done to me. Been done by people that say they love me.
I'm not one of those people, Kanan. What's going on, baby? What happened?
So you see he pressed Krystal about her trusting him as well. So, him being able to trust her as well. And I believe all of this isn't just a coincidence. It's absolutely going to come, full force later on. But I believe Krystal is absolutely going to betray him. She has to. Because if you remember, Juke, and I want to say it was episode 4, Juke kind of caught on to her and saw that she's looking at Kanan as a meal ticket since butter didn't work, right? He was her backup plan. And who knows? She's probably is, I know a couple of people have been speculating about it, and I think there is a possibility that it is some truth to this. That she is also in on the OC, robbing Kanan for that money. Because OC obviously was close enough to Kanan to be able to get, some of this stuff done, but the lock absolutely wasn't broken when we saw it. It was unlocked. So that means somebody had the key. The only two people that was close enough to possibly have gotten Kanan's key is OC and Krystal. But let's be real, like I've said plenty of times, that suitcase that the money was in was way too big for OC to carry on his own, so he had to have had some kind of assistance. So I think it is very much possible that Krystal and OC were together. Maybe she the one planted OC on Kanan to gain his trust. And then afterwards, because think about it, she also wanted to get him into another apartment. Maybe the reason why she did that was so that she can get him away from maybe the keys was left at that apartment or something like that. Maybe she was trying to get him out of the way so that she could, get the plan together. Perhaps that was it. Now, ugly ass niggas might be saying, then why would Unique bump into her and she was scared like that? Well, it could be possible that she wasn't let in on the plan yet, but later on she was. So I'm just going to be real brief with that. Anyways, though, back to more of the spicy stuff. I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, ugly ass niggas, but hey, bear with me. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and get to another scene with Rock.
If you care about my son, you'll keep a track of him. He in his head right now, and that's not a good place for him to be. He ain't gonna mind me, but he'll listen to you.
Kanan does what he wants.
Sound like you know him pretty good already. Look, just look out for him. That's all I'm saying. And I ain't even here to talk about that anyways. I got some good news for him.
Anyways, though, the reason why my purpose of playing this is that, remember, Rock paid a visit to Krystal here, right? She was coming to see Kanan, but Krystal was there, right? And I think it is possible that maybe later on, and we didn't get to see this, Rock struck a deal with Krystal to watch Kanan for her, because she's already very much concerned with, very much concerned with the situation with Famous, that he might go out and do something crazy. So she always wanted to keep tabs on Kanan any way she knew how. She used to have Juke do it, then she tried to have Famous do it, and we saw how that turned out. And now she's looking to have Krystal do it. And then later on, something else I want to get y'all to realize, and I don't know if y'all the only one that noticed, I'm the only one that noticed this, but hey, pay attention to what Rock says here.
Famous won't let you do that, stupid.
So she was saying Famous wouldn't want you to do something stupid, right? Now, let me go ahead and play another clip where this is actually that same episode later on.
Of course, I'm thinking about it, Krystal. Famous is my brother.
But he wouldn't want you to fuck yourself up for him.
Now, ugly ass niggas might say I'm reaching here, but all I'm saying, ugly ass niggas, is she got the same talking points as Rock. Now, let's be real. Krystal didn't know Famous. She's saying Famous wouldn't want you to do something to mess yourself up. But she didn't really know him like that. I believe it's possible Rock was the one who put that bug in her ear, because she paid her off to watch Kanan for her, because she's the one living with her. Come on, y'all know how controlling Rock is. She did that ultimately because she wanted to keep tabs on her. And what I think is going to end up happening is, once the block gets hot, just like Ghost did with Krystal, Rock is going to pay her to get out of town, because he's like, look, you need to go because, stuff is getting hot, and you basically, it's either she's going to see Krystal as a liability, or she's going to be trying to save Krystal's life. But I can see Rock very much trying to get Kanan out of town. Trying to get Krystal out of town. And before she do, I think Kanan might discover that, not Kanan, sorry. Juke is going to discover that Because if you remember in episode 8 description, I don't have it on my selections right here to put it up there, but if you just go ahead and take a look at it, it says in episode 8 synopsis that Kanan is going to task Jude for the search of OC while he looks into his theory on what happened to Famous, right? So in the midst of her looking for OC, I think she's gonna find out that not Krystal is behind it, and she's gonna murder Krystal. She's gonna kill her, and then probably hide her body possibly, because she knows Kanan probably wouldn't approve of her killing her, and then later on Kanan could find out, and that's when a brawl starts, and she may potentially give him the scar on his neck. That could potentially happen, but I think if that do happen, it won't happen this episode coming up. I'm just saying something for us to look forward to in the future. So that's why I believe Juke takes out Krystal, Kanan finds out, and that's going to be one betrayal, and then later he's going to also figure out that OC and Krystal did betray him. And like I've been saying before, I think it's possible that Unique might reveal that to him. Unique go ahead and tells Kanan, yeah, they look like that nigga been working for me, he's disloyal, and I thought you was in on your mama and Ronnie, doing what they did to me, but now I figure out that you solid. My bad, man. For the most part, Unique is a real nigga. He keep it 100 with people. He ain't gonna try to lie and manipulate. He gonna tell them the truth. And I think that's gonna be what makes Kanan takes the liking for him, especially if he turns out to be breezed. That's gonna be a huge part of why Kanan is gonna mess with him like that. Very similar to a scene we've already seen before. Tariq. The reason why Tariq loved Kanan so much is because Kanan kept it real with him. He told him the truth, which is something his father, Ghost, never would do. Which is something Kanan's mother, Rock, never would do. So, there you have it, glass niggas. That is how ultimately, I think with all of those events going on, Krystal betraying him, Rock, always doing some betrayal, especially if she turns out to be at least partially behind the death of Famous, he's gonna absolutely explode because of that. Also, with Jukebox taking out Krystal behind his back, maybe he's gonna just feel like it's no one that he can trust, and that's gonna just send him to the deep end. And so that will be how we will get the end of Krystal, and ultimately get the cold-blooded Kanan that we all knew from the original Power. But pretty much that's all I got for y'all as far as this particular video. Definitely hit these comment section. Let me know what you're thinking up in there. Could you possibly see your girl Krystal being taken out by Juke? If not, what do you think her fate will be? Could you possibly see her making it out? Could she get a happy ending? Could she possibly escape town and never be seen again? Or if she does get taken out and you just think it is by a different person, let me know all of that and more up in the comments. But pretty much, like usual, if you're cool with me, fool with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment. Let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share it with your glad friends. Until the next video,